Okay, hello. I am Jules from Juliet Paco Designs. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I hope you enjoyed my last little video diary, which was just a quick little jaunt to St. Louis in January. I was visiting my mom and my brother and his girlfriend. And that was really fun. So I just took a little bit of video here and there. You saw some whips that I was working on, which are now actually going to be FOs in this video. I am recording today on the 4th of March. Here in Boston, the weather is doing all sorts of crazy things. We had a bunch of freezing rain last night. So today we woke up and everything was just covered in ice, but it's starting to warm up. So all of the trees were just dripping. So it's a bit messy outside right now. But spring is definitely coming. We've had a couple of days of warmth, and it's supposed to get even warmer. But yeah, I have a ton to show you. I know it's been a while, so I have loads to show you. I keep saying this, I am gonna try to do these video diaries more frequently so that I don't have as much to show you at one time. I actually dragged my whole coffee table over here, and it's covered in stuff. Normally I just have like these little TV tables back here. So yeah, I need to start doing these more frequently just so that I don't have to move my coffee table. But I have lots to show you. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with a couple of FOs. These are actually, so the first couple of FOs I want to show you are actually from they are things I put together for the New England Farm and Fiber Festival, which was this past just a couple weeks ago in February in Boston. It was a wonderful festival. It was so nice. It's in the Cyclorama building, which is like this gorgeous like circular building with this like big skylight thing. It was really, really lovely. It was on Super Bowl Sunday in Boston, and the Pats were playing in the Super Bowl. So the afternoon crowd was a little less busy than we had hoped for, but it was an amazing festival. The morning was super busy. There was loads of people. I had a great time chatting to people. So yeah, and it's happening again next year, first weekend of February. You should definitely make it if you can. It's run by Tammy from Wing and a Prayer Farm, who is just, I just adore Tammy. She's so great, and she puts on a really good festival. So highly recommend. But I had reknit my hayloft hat. So this is my hayloft hat pattern. I had originally designed this for an EcoView fiber mill yarn. They have since gone out of business, so it was time for a redesign. So I'm actually using my own yarn, my naturally dyed yarn. This is, I'm calling it it's Maripaca because it's merino and alpaca blend. It's kind of, it's a chunky, like it's thicker than an Aran weight, but it's not like it's super bulky. And yeah, this hat is just like this really fun little slip stitch pattern. It's got this little folded brim, and then yeah, you can see the inside. It's this kind of like, yeah, stripy mosaic slip stitch, and then just a little pom-pom on top. And so I made this sample because I wanted to make kits for that yarn. So you can see, so I have this white and cochineal colorway. The white is just undyed. And then a logwood colorway. And then this one is actually dyed with goldenrod. So it's kind of this, it's sort of a slightly greenish tinted beige. I don't really know if you can see it in the camera. Oh, I have a new camera also. I got a new camera and a new mic. Hopefully the video quality is a lot better. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but yeah, basically I got a new camera because I do a podcast with Sarah from Boston Fiber Company. We have a podcast called Hot Cakes where we talk about our hot takes in the yarn and craft industry. And we just had a lot of struggles with that. So it was time. It was time for a new setup. So I got a new camera. I got a nice like vlogging camera. And I figured that would also be good for my own channel so I can do video diaries for you and also maybe be a little bit better about taking you around out and about with me. I have some upcoming travels, so I'm excited to bring you with me. But what was I going to say? But yeah, so kits for this. I still have some kits. I don't have the yarn on its own right now. I did use all of the yarn that I had gotten. Because I kind of want to try it out first before I bought like loads. So I only got enough to make a couple sets of kits. So I still have the kits, and but if there's enough interest, I will be bringing in the yarn as well, and naturally dyeing some standalone yarns so that you can make whatever you want. But yeah, Hayloft hat kits are on my website, and also you can just get the pattern as well and use your own yarn. So that's that. And then the other thing I had for that festival, I debuted it at the festival, is this cute little sort of garter stitch stripe bandana. I'll show you the stitch pattern a little better there. This is the Sweet Scallops bandana, and it is in my Highland DK yarn. And you'll see, obviously, I have one dyed and one undyed. Is that little white stripe in there. This one is dyed with, this one's dyed with lock, actually. And I don't have any more of my lock dyed yarn at the moment, but I do have a very similar colorway that's dyed with cochineal and logwood. And this actually only takes, it takes like less than half a skein. And so I actually made up little sets that are, these are my Highland DK 50-20 sets. So I have a 50-gram skein, which is this, the coral color here, that's my madder root. And then an undyed mini skein, a 20-gram mini. So yeah, it's a 50-gram and a 20-gram skein. And it's just the perfect little set to make something like this. Or really any kind of fun little accessory. I have, yeah, a similar color to this, which is the cochineal and logwood. I have this madder root, and then I have this logwood, sort of a really dark logwood, and then I have just the plain cochineal. It's that bright pink. And then I also have, so all of the ones I just showed you, and including the bandana, have the 50-gram is the dyed one, and then the 20-gram is undyed. I also have the opposite. So I have a 50-gram undyed and then a 20-gram dyed. So if you want to have like a mostly white bandana with like a colorful stripe or something like that. So yeah, those are my Highland DK 50-20s. These, as I'm recording, are not on the website yet. I got them all done for the festival and I had them in person, and then I have yet to go through and photograph them and put them on the website. But maybe by the time I publish this, they will be on the website. Stay tuned. I'll put the link here if they are. But yeah, so that's what I had for the New England Farm and Fiber Festival. Thanks to all the folks who came out to that, by the way. That was just such a fun time. Okay, but now I want to show you some of the whips that I was working on in the last video in St. Louis. This one here is all finished. It is, it's a top-down raglan with cable details on the raglan line and also down the side of the body. And this pattern is going to be called Immelk. So I had initially intended to have this pattern ready for Immelk, which is February 1st. That obviously did not happen. It is now March 4th. I still haven't finished writing up the pattern and getting it tech edited and tested and all that. So that's obviously not going to happen. So I think I am going to sort of save this for release for next winter. but I will be getting it, I will actually be getting it graded and then tech edited in the next few weeks. And then I will I will be looking for testers. So keep an eye out for that. It is it's in the most beautiful yarn. It's Townhouse Yarns. It's two different yarns. It's Townhouse Yarns. They're farm to yarn 4-ply, which is a fingering weight, in this like beautiful like cinnamon red color. I think it's actually called cinnamon. And then held with their ivy lace yarn, which it's a Surrey alpaca and yak and silk and maybe something else. But it's, a fluffy lace weight in this sort of green color that had sort of flashes of the cinnamon red. So I thought they would pair well together, and I really think they do. I love it so much. I'm so excited to wear this, but I think I kind of have to save it for next winter. But yeah, it's just a simple little raglan with little cable details. So yeah, that look out for a test or a preview knit call for that coming soon-ish. You know what I mean. So yeah, that was one of the whips I was working on last video. The other whip I was working on is, of course, my loon sweater, which is all finished. And I wear this all the time. I love it so much. It is just a basic drop shoulder fingering weight sweater that I made. I actually knit it on my machine, my KX350 knitting machine. So I knit all the sweater panel pieces on my machine and then seamed it together. And then, of course, added this loon embroidery. You can see my two little loons. This is, of course, a Heated Rivalry reference. These are my two loon boyfriends. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go look it up. It's a fun time. Heated Rivalry has taken over my life. So yeah, so this is my loon sweater. It's knit in Harrisville Designs Shetland. Their Shetland yarn, which is their fingering weight. Sort of like staple yarn. It's not actually Shetland wool, like it's not from Shetland breed sheep, but it's sort of the sort of style of Shetland yarns. It's like sort of similar to like a Jameson's. So I think that's why it's called Shetland, but it's really nice yarn. This is the colorway Grass, and then I can't remember what colors I used for the embroidery, but it's like a black and a white and like a gray. And actually I think the gray for the beaks is actually from Garthenor, which is a Welsh company. And then the eyes, the creepy red eyes, is Knit Picks. And then I just added a cute little, I don't know if you can see, this one's wearing a little necklace, which if you watch Heated Rivalry, you know why. So yeah, that's that. I've been loving wearing this. It's so warm, like shockingly warm for the gauge that I knit it on, but but it's great. I love it. And then also, speaking of Heated Rivalry, this is so silly, but I just wanted something cute and fun for Valentine's Day, even though I don't really do Valentine's Day. But this is my candy heart wall hanging. This one says "Gimme Kiss," and this side says "You're cold." Another Heated Rivalry reference. This is double knit, so I didn't have, and I should say, the loons, I don't have a pattern for the sweater, but I have the chart, like the duplicate stitch chart that I used for the actual loons is on my blog, and it's free. So you can take that chart and you can duplicate stitch it onto anything you want. You could use intarsia. You could do a mix of both. You can do whatever you want with it really, but there's no actual pattern for the sweater. It's just the free chart. It does tell you, I think, like what yarns and what colors. But other than that, it's just the chart. Same with this. I have the charts for the candy hearts. I don't have a pattern for the wall hanging, although I actually have ideas for more wall hangings that are similar to this. So I might like write up like a generic double knit wall hanging pattern. And then just like that has multiple charts. But for now, you can get the charts for free also on my blog. But yeah, I basically I duplicate stitched the hearts. So like this like light purple background color is the main heart color here. And then this pink background color is the heart here. And then I duplicate stitched the letters. And then also this little like border, little shadow, 3-dimensional situation. So it is just, yeah, it's just double knit for the heart part and then duplicate stitch the little extra bits on and then just add a fringe. That part's pretty easy. And then this is just a single crochet. Yeah, this is just single crochet. And then to keep it kind of straight and flat, I actually just stuck a double pointed knitting needle in there. It's just like an old DPN that I never use because I don't use DPNs. So yeah, that's that. Okay, I think this is my last FO. I'm gonna take a drink of water. Because I'm not used to talking this much. Okay, this is my last FO for today. Ooh, it's bright yellow. This is my Faresta sweater. It is from the 52 Weeks of Sweaters, the book from Laine. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, so I submitted a design proposal. They sent out a call for design submissions. I submitted a proposal and they accepted it. I was honestly shocked because Laine is such a huge publication. And I didn't think my design was anything too special. It is just sort of a basic V-neck, raglan, oversized. It has super long sleeves, and then just a basic 1x1 rib at the cuffs and at the neck and all of that. But I really wanted it to just be like, I was like, this is a sweater you can knit like tons of them in all different colors, all different yarns. It's just like a super easy staple sweater. It's fairly easy to knit. Like there's no crazy advanced techniques. You don't have to pay too much attention, especially like once you're done with the raglan increases and you just are onto the body and the sleeves. It's all pretty straightforward. And I also wanted something that was just like super easy to style, super easy to throw on, layer over stuff for kind of, all seasons. And so that's how Faresta was born. And Faresta is actually, it's a Gallic word that means like easy or simple. So that's, yeah, you get the idea. The yarn, so if you guys know me, you know that this color is way out of my comfort zone. I did not pick the yarn. We actually had La Bien-Aimée pick the colors because we wanted to use La Bien-Aimée yarn. This is their Twist Nouveau held with the little Kumo Surrey lace. So it's a fingering held with a lace. Both are non-superwash. And the Twist Nouveau is in the colorway La Bien-Aimée yellow, just LBA yellow. It's their signature color. And then the Surrey lace is in the color Sunburst, I believe. So they're slightly different colors actually. So you can kind of see there's just more sort of depth and texture to the color that way, which I really like. Because yeah, you get this super bright yellow from the Twist Nouveau, and then you get sort of this sort of darker, almost mustardy yellow from the Surrey, and it just creates this gorgeous fabric. But yeah, and then of course, as one of the contributing designers, they sent me a copy of the book. It like all Laine books, I mean, it's massive, right? These are hefty books, which is why they are, I still have a little sticker on it, which is why they're the price that they are. But also keep in mind, there's 52 sweater patterns in here. So like, you get what you pay for, right? If you were to buy, if you were to buy 52 sweater patterns at, you know, $8 to $10, it cost a lot of money. So this is actually a real steal. And they're just absolutely gorgeous books. Like, look at that cover. I actually kind of want to knit that sweater on the cover, that sort of cable garter situation. But yeah, let me just show you. I'll show you my, here it is. There she is. That's my Fadista. There's my name in the Laine book. But yeah, you can see here, like on the model, the sleeves are like super long. It's super oversized, but which makes it great to like, yeah, layer over like a shirt like this, a button-up shirt. Or you could also do over a t-shirt, whatever. But yeah, it's super oversized and cozy and fun and simple. Oops, here's Ghost. She's behind the camera. I don't want her behind the camera. Come in front of the camera, baby. Here she comes. Good job. You all remember Ghost. You want to say hi to the camera, baby? Not really. She may or may not stay for... You gonna stay? But yes, so we had actually at Boston Fiber Company, we had a little book launch trunk show weekend a couple weekends ago where we had copies of the book, and then I had my own naturally dyed yarn that is suitable for this pattern on sale, and it went so well. The shop sold out of books. They're getting more in though, so if you want a copy and you want to shop local and you're in Boston, you can check back soon. Hopefully they'll get them in soon. They are shipping from Finland, so it can take some time. But yeah, and then I also have, so I have my own naturally dyed. I have the merino fingering is sort of the base yarn, and then I have two options for the lace weight fluffy yarn. So I have a Surrey and silk blend, and then I have a mohair and silk blend. And again, as I'm recording, they are not on the website, or are they? They might be on the website already. I will double check that. If they're not, I will hopefully put them up by the time that this video goes out. If you want to make your own Fadista, or anything else really. It's a pretty common combo. But that actually is a great segue into my whips, because one of my current whips, I have several whips. You know me, I always have several whips. But one of my whips is my own Fadista in my own naturally dyed yarn. So of course I have this sample, but I think I'm gonna just keep that kind of like as a sample and not really like wear it. Like as I said, it's just way out of my color palette. It's gorgeous colors, but it like doesn't really fit me. And so I wanted a sample that I could wear, and also one that I could have as a sample in my booth when I am selling yarn, so that you can, you know, see what the yarn looks like all knit up when I have my Surrey and my mohair and all that. So you can see I've just sort of joined the body. So we have a ways to go. But I don't know if you can see this fabric. It is actually an undyed, oops, that's not for you. That's not for you. It's the merino fingering is undyed, so just plain undyed. And then the Surrey is naturally dyed with cochineal and logwood. And so it gives it this nice little purpley pink. And it's hard to see when it's all caked up like this, but there is like a very slight amount of like variegation, which I just think makes it look really fun. I did initially I started knitting this with both the Surrey and the merino fingering were dyed the same, dyed with cochineal and logwood. Um, and it just kind of looked a bit like flat almost. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm dropping stitches here. It just it wasn't giving that texture that I like, of that kind of almost marled look. So I decided to just replace it with an undyed, and I like that fabric much more. So yes, and I at the trunk show at Boston Fabric Company, there were so many beautiful color combos that people were choosing. I was like really like, I'm so excited to see them knit up, because some of the combos people picked were just gorgeous. Like somebody did, I think actually it's not quite the same because it's a different yarn base, but somebody did like, they got the merino in this dark logwood purple, and then they got like a mohair in the bright cochineal, which I think is just going to be stunning. I'm so excited for that. But yes, so that's that. That's my first whip. Let's see. I can tell I'm losing battery, so I might have to pause in the middle of this and recharge my new camera. I forgot to recharge it after the last hot cakes episode. But I also just want to show you the bags that I am keeping some of my whips in. This is one of my Delaque like sack bags, and it's like wax canvas. I have this in 2 sizes. I have this one, and then I have a slightly smaller one. And I love these. I mean, I have a whole sweater whip in here. And then my smaller one is great for like socks or like just like little squares. Like when I'm teaching, I always bring that one because it's just easy to carry around. And it's got this great like loop, so you can clip it. You can actually, I've done this before. You can take a carabiner, clip it onto here, and like clip it onto your belt loop and like walk around and knit at the same time, which is really convenient. Okay, so that's one whip. Another whip that I have. This one's very exciting. All right. Ooh. This is, I'm calling it my faux shearling vest. So I don't know if you can see, it's a boucle yarn. It's a bulky boucle, and it's actually my yarn. This one's again undyed, but I will hopefully be dyeing some up in the future. Don't touch it, please, ghost. But I was inspired by those like the Barber vests that are like that faux shearling fabric. But I wanted like a knitted one. And so somebody actually recently called this it's a reconstructed, deconstructed sheepskin jacket, because I was like, oh, that shearling fabric is like, it's definitely synthetic, right? It's like 100% polyester or whatever, but it's like meant to imitate a sheep's fleece. And here I am imitating that imitation using yarn that is actual sheep's wool. This is I think 30% sheep's wool, and no, 70% sheep's wool and 30% alpaca, but still. But yeah, so it's just going to be a little vest, and then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to add pockets. And then I'm just going to do like around a little like double knit, border in like a dark brown, I think. And just like in a plain wool, not in a boucle. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a fun one. Again, probably will be ready for preview knitting in like later in the spring or in the summer. So the pattern itself will be ready for next fall. But yeah, that's that. And then another whip I have. So, well, I actually just cast this on today. It's March 4th. And I'm going to be at the Wayland, oops, I should turn off my phone. I'm going to be at the Wayland Farm and Fiber Days this weekend. So today's Wednesday. I'm hoping to get this video out either Thursday or Friday. So if you're seeing it then, or before Sunday, March 8th, I will be at the Wayland Farm and Fiber Days. I will be there with the Southeast New England Fiber Shed booth, talking about local wool, and also talking about the Hudson Valley Textile Projects Sweaters for Good, which is basically about knitting sweaters in local wool. And I know that one of the vendors at that event is Junction Fiber Mill. So you know them, you love them if you're here in the Northeast. So that I wanted to have a sweater. I understand that it's in 4 days. So what I'm doing is I had 2 skeins of the this is one of their Rhinebeck colorways. This is the cider donut. Yeah, this is cider donut. So I have 2 skeins of this, and I have 1 skein of just the undyed natural. And I wanted to do like a cropped version of my Simply the Best V-neck, which is just a pretty basic V-neck vest. It's why it's called Simply the Best. It's very simple and it's the best. So yeah, Simply the Best V-neck. It's going to be a little cropped because, one, I wanted a cropped vest. All of my vests that I have are pretty much like hip length. And so I wanted a cropped one that I could style with like longer, like shirt dresses or like tunics, and also maybe dresses, and also maybe just to wear as a top, like with skirts or whatever. So I wanted a cropped one anyway, but I also only have 2 skeins of this. So I kind of have to make it cropped because I don't have enough to make the same size that I made my first sample. But that's okay. I'm also knitting it at a slightly bigger gauge because this yarn just kind of fluffs up a little bit more. So that's what I'm working on now. I literally just started it this morning. And so I have 1 front piece, and then I'm working on the other front piece, and then they're going to join together in the V-neck, and then I have to do the back. And then I'm gonna, with the natural, I'm gonna do the pickup and do the collar and the hems and all of that with the undyed. Yeah, so that's that. I'm loving how it's working out. Look at that. Doesn't it make you want a cider donut? Too bad it's March. I walked into Boston Fiber Company the other day, and Sarah, the owner, just goes, "You look so autumnal." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's February, but I love autumnal color palettes, so I'm gonna always look autumnal." The other whip that I'm working on, I think this is my last whip. I think this is the last thing to show you, which is good because my battery is dying. It looks really boring right now, actually. So this is another reworking of an old pattern. So this is actually my Flora Fetty slipover pattern that was published in the Making Stories. It was actually, I think, the second to last issue of Making Stories because they are no longer putting out publications. So, but it's in their like confetti issue. But the pattern rights have reverted back to me, so I am now allowed to publish it on my own. But as you can see, again, not really my color palette. It's this lovely, lovely blue-gray, heathered. It's got lovely depth, gorgeous color, just not my color though. So I'm making my own sample out of my own yarn. Again, this is my Highland DK. And this sample is the by Laxton's Sheep Soft, which is a British wool. And I really do love it. It's a lovely, lovely yarn. But yes, so this is my Flora Fetty slipover. It's just it's kind of hard to see, but it's just 2 like pieces, a front and a back. And then they have these little tabs connecting them at the side, and then they have a little collar. But what makes it fun is these little flower embroidery details. This is just Lazy Daisy stitch embroidered on. And for Making Stories, they wanted it to be in the same color as the background, which I think is very cool, gives it a very cool look. But one of the initial, and I had sent them, when I sent in my design proposal, I had sent them a couple of swatches, and one had the flowers as the same color as the background, but the other was like this. So it had the undyed yarn and then very colorful flowers. So what I'm going to do is this is my Highland DK undyed, and then I have a bunch of naturally dyed Highland DK minis. And so I'm going to use a couple minis and embroider a bunch of colorful flowers all over this. I'm also rewriting the pattern very slightly because this is it's slightly different gauge. And I also wanted to make the neckline just like a little bit wider because on this sample it's kind of a like mock neck style, and I found that I kind of wanted a different option for the neck. So I'll be publishing this version, but I will also be publishing the new version when I publish the pattern myself, which I am planning to do before the March 21st and 22nd Fiber Festival at the Boston Public Market, because I will be vending there. And I will have my Highland DK and I will have my naturally dyed minis. And so I kind of wanted to have this sample there and the new pattern published as kind of like a, buy some Highland DK, buy some minis, and make your own Florafetti vest to kind of welcome in springtime. That'll be the weekend of the spring equinox, so it'll hopefully just be a very fun springtimey weekend and get people excited for the new season. So that'll be March 21st and 22nd at the Boston Public Market. And then after that, I will also be doing another springtime market in April. On the 25th of April, I will be at Gore Place, the Gore Place Sheep Shearing Festival in Waltham, Mass. So if you're in the Boston-ish area, definitely come check those out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think that's all I really wanted to show you now. I want to keep these kind of like as short as possible. So hopefully I will be doing these more frequently. And so that I will have slightly less to show you, and I will be able to like just talk more and ramble on more. I will also make sure my camera is charged because I can see the little red bar is really stressing me out. So I don't want this to, I don't want it to die on me. But I also don't want to keep you too long. I don't want these video diaries to be entire, epics. So I think we will sign off now. Ghost, would you please tell everybody to like and subscribe? And what is this stretch you're doing? Like and subscribe and comment down below and join my mailing list, and they can donate on Ko-fi if they want. Where does all that Ko-fi money go, Ghost? Does it go to new cameras, new microphones, new yarn? Or does it go to Mice for Ghost? It doesn't go to Mice for Ghost. My roommate buys all of them Mice for Ghost. So it goes to camera equipment and new yarn. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm excited to do more of these this year. I'm getting into the swing of it. And yeah, I'm excited to keep you updated with what I'm working on. And please let me know if you'd like to see more of this type of video, or if you'd like to see more of my little travel snippets, or if you want to just watch videos of Ghost all day. Let me know what you'd like to see. I'd like to make that for you. So yeah, I will sign off and see you next time. Bye.